Good afternoon, world, from the Reina Zaviera boat. This is the first time we've been on this massive ro-ro. It is actually a commercial one, I think. It's just full of trucks. We are the only passenger vehicle on here, and it is a pretty large vessel. It was the only one available, and we are heading to Surigao so that we can drive all the way down to DAVAO City today. Our first time going there. Story is excited, I think. We're all excited. Poppy is with us, and we've got a bit of a day ahead of us. Story is entertaining herself with a rainbow pillow on her head. Oh. Sweet.
Does it fit on you?
I don't know. Are you excited to drive to DAVAO?
Yeah!
Yeah? Never been there before, have we?
No!
What do you think it's going to be like?
Like a little bit like the big city, but not just like the big city.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like a little bit smaller, like a small city?
Yeah, like a small city.
What are you most looking forward to?
The museums, the Bone Museum.
The Bone Museum, yeah. It's called the Bone Collector Museum.
Yes!
I think it would be good. We've got a long drive ahead though.
Yeah.
We've been on this boat for 3.5 hours.
3 hours 20 minutes.
But this wasn't the beginning of our journey. We actually came to the boat port at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and they said, sorry, no more spaces on the ro-ro. You have to wait until the next boat. So we booked the 11 o'clock boat, drove all the way home, had a sleep, and then came out again. So we've been traveling since like 3 a.m, haven't we?
3 a.m. the alarm went off this morning, yeah. And we're still not even in Surigao.
No, we should arrive in the afternoon, and then we've got like, I think probably about 8 hours drive all the way across Mindanao. So it'll be good to show the journey and give our impressions of DAVAO when we get there, even if it's at night. You happy to be with us, Poppy, on this journey?
Yeah.
Of course you are. It's your first road trip in months, isn't it?
Yeah. When was the last time Papa came with us?
We went to Mindanao last.
Yeah, 4 months.
You look happy to me. Now, because this boat does not have a roof, we've fashioned a scarf tent to protect us from the sunshine.
It's a little den.
Yeah, well, my one just fell down.
Oh no.
But it has been providing good shade. And we've downloaded some films on the phone and made a little cinema, didn't we?
Yeah.
We've been watching some stuff. Story's just watched almost the whole film of Sea Beast.
Yes.
And we've had snacks. But it's getting a bit boring now.
Yeah, I know, it's the
I'm ready
last
to get on the drive now and like, actually make some progress.
It's because we know we have so much further to go.
Yeah.
Look at this. Never seen this viewpoint before coming into land. It's pretty cool.
Ready to go to McDonald's.
Great thing about being the last people loaded onto the boat is you are the first people off. These guys have got a really difficult job. Can you imagine how difficult it is to manoeuvre a massive ship like this and get it to line up right there without hitting the boats on either side? They're so close to each other as well. And that's it, touchdown. That was really gentle.
So we've just cleared Surigao City. We've got quite a long drive ahead of us to get to DAVAO today. It's going to be about 7 more hours in the car. We do have a hotel booked already in DAVAO.
Heading off at sunset instead of like morning.
Yeah.
We would have been there already by now. But it's nice to be driving in this kind of light.
Yes, it's quite beautiful. We're just about to head through the mountains to get on the other side of Surigao. Story has fallen asleep. Now, we did stop before we started the drive to get some McDonald's French fries, which is our dinner, our early dinner. Story didn't even finish half of them before she fell asleep. So she's a child where we actually have to kind of bribe her to eat a French fry. So hopefully she will have a nice sleep now and we can get a good chunk of the drive done while she's resting. Poppy is being as good as ever as well, just looking out the window. She is a very good traveller.
Though she wasn't this morning, she actually puked twice this morning on our way to the port.
Yes.
So I think maybe she just needs a little bit of extra time to get used to road tripping again. Because Grandad didn't take her out in the car much while he was looking after her. So yes, this is her like reintroduction into long road trips.
Yeah, although it was very early in the morning. She hadn't had her full sleep.
Yeah.
Princess Poppy needs her rest.
Yeah, but she's good now. She hasn't made any
She's been
fuss.
fine, yeah.
One thing I'm noticing already about the driving here in Mindanao since the last time we were here is all of like the army checkpoints and police checkpoints and COVID checkpoints have been replaced with school zones. Like they've got these barriers across the road, so it like creates traffic on the road, but we're driving through like school exit time, aren't we?
School
So it's
time,
loads of
yeah. And
kids.
yeah, all the schools are open now after the pandemic, so that's a good thing.
Yes.
This truck in front of us was actually on the same boat as us coming over here. It is actually full of fairground rides. They had a fiesta in Jmayel and they set up a kind of a fair thing
Yeah, like-
on the boulevard.
Yeah, it looks a bit ropey.
Very much so, very battered equipment. And yeah, they brought it off island.
Yeah, it looks like they are actually transporting it all the way, maybe even back to DAVAO. So we'll
Maybe,
see
yeah.
how long we're behind this vehicle for. So some of you might be thinking, why DAVAO? Why are we heading down there? And the main reason for me is, first of all, we haven't been there, and it is like the capital of Mindanao. And Mindanao is the island we've covered the most so far, and we still haven't made it down there. So I'm super curious to see if it's any good, if it rivals Manila in any way. We were very impressed with Manila, and I've heard DAVAO is a very up and coming city, big vegan scene. There's a lot of vegan restaurants there, which surprised me. So as far as research goes into DAVAO City, we haven't really done anything, and there's a reason for that. I want to surprise myself. I want to give like a proper first impressions.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at any pictures, I haven't watched any videos about the city itself. So I'm very curious to see if there are like big tall buildings, if it's really low city, is it dirty, is it clean? I've just like heard rumours, and we've got some friends that live there that say we will like it, and we are going to spend most of our time there just kind of delving into what's locally around, maybe walk so you get a better perspective on the ground, a pedestrian perspective of the city.
And obviously we're going to have Poppy with us, so we'll see how pet friendly DAVAO is.
Indeed, yeah, we booked ourselves into a pet friendly hotel which looks very nice.
Yeah, we have.
Surprisingly nice for a pet friendly place, and I'm also excited to show you guys that and the local area. So there's plenty to delve into when we get to DAVAO. We will be arriving at night, so we'll be in a future vlog, I guess, but we will give you our first impressions as we pull in.
Yeah, but for me, I'm excited about the cafes.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, for ages now, well over a year, we've been told about DAVAO and how kind of it's a much more laid back kind of version of Manila, if you want like a city vibe, but without being overwhelmed. Like Manila can sometimes be a bit too big, a bit too crazy, a bit too much. So DAVAO apparently is meant to be much more laid back, and yeah, so I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see the kind of vegan side of things there, because we've heard of, you know, the Vegans of DAVAO group on Facebook and things like that. So we've heard about it and we've known about it for quite a while, but this is just our first time actually getting there.
And the DAVAO region itself is also very beautiful. They've got the tallest mountain in the Philippines, Mount Apo, nearby. Philippines Eagle Sanctuary. There's plenty of nature surrounding DAVAO that we would like to kind of get a taste of, and see how much we can get done in this one trip.
Yeah, that is something that I did really like. Jay said we didn't really look into it too much because we want to just see how it feels without having a big plan of things that we must do when we get there. We want to just see how it feels, and I do know though that it is meant to be known for animal sanctuaries and conservation places, so that's quite nice. So we're going to look into perhaps doing some of those, seeing what's there in that kind of sense of stuff.
One of the things that we really liked about going to Manila for the first time was the fact that you could get anything and everything, which is something we don't have access to in Siargao. It's harder to get stuff because of the island like provincial area. So how accessible is DAVAO? Are we going to be able to get loads of stuff? Are the malls big? Do they have cinemas? Do they have ice skating? All the stuff that you expect of city life? Do they have it there? Don't know. Our closest big city and places we can access easily with Poppy in the car, this will be it. It's also very close to Jmayel Island, which has been highly recommended to us, so we might try and see if we can get over there and just see if it has the island feel close to the city. And who knows, if we fall in love with Davao, it might give us more options for like other places to consider in the Philippines.
So I had mentioned in a previous vlog that my dad might be joining us on this trip as well. He is unfortunately not going to be able to join us on this DAVAO trip this time round because we did leave it a little bit last minute. It was only about 3 or 4 days before we booked the hotel that I told Dad we were actually going to go, and he has an event already kind of in place that he's going to in Manila, so he won't be joining us this time round. And Jay just mentioned Jmayel Island, and that is one thing we were going to do, some nights in the city of Davao and then some nights in Jmayel Island, but we're going to see how it feels. We haven't booked a hotel for Jmayel, have we?
No.
But I feel like I would like to just kind of get the city vibe for a bit because we've just come from an island. And then we can always, if we like it, we can always go back to Davao and do Jmayel with my dad as well, and it gives us something to go back for. So if we don't get to go to the island this time round, it's okay because we can always go back and do it again. Sun is setting.
That's a beautiful river.
It is.
Where did it come from?
Mountains.
The mountain, yeah. You've woken up from your nap?
I wasn't having that.
You did. We saw you.
We all saw you.
Right, the sun is going down here. Day's drawing to a close, but we will check in when we get to Davao. So we'll see you later. Yes, we made it.
Oh, 8 hours later.
It was a long drive, but we made it.
I feel like a zombie, but Story has been so good.
Yes.
So's Poppy.
Yeah.
She looks a bit knackered like we
It
all do.
is very dark, very late,
Yes.
and we need to check into our room now.
I wanted to give like some feedback on Davao and everything on the way in, but it was a bit too dark. Couldn't really see anything yet. Oh, hello, you woken up.
We couldn't see much on our way in at all really. It's too late and lots of things are shut and it's dark, and so we will find out whether or not the drive was worth it tomorrow, and we will end the video for today. We're going to go and check into our room and get a good night's sleep. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.